long time to be in this spot. So this is super important, and it's not easy to deal with that.
All right, let's have a quick look at the battleground. Where are we heading next? And can Worst Positioning begin to bring it back? They've given the map choice over to Diamond Skin again, and we're going to Battlefield of Eternity.
So Battlefield is a battleground where Worst Positioning has 3 games so far, and they won 1 of those, and it's another good battleground for Diamond Skin. So Diamond Skin had 10 games on the map, and they won 4 out of those 10. And again, putting that into relation to their average win rate of 29%, that's pretty decent for them. They also took down some really heavy hitters in HGC Europe on Battlefield of Eternity. For example, Fnatic suffered their first loss on Battlefield at the hands of Diamond Skin. So this is definitely an attempt of Diamond Skin to push the best maps that they have out first, get an early lead, and then really just ride that momentum.
It's a good idea. Good little strategy. Try and get that early lead, as you said here. So, it does mean Worst Positioning get first pick, and we're immediately removing the Tracer. It was some of their best damage in the last game, but they don't want Diamond Skin to even close to have it, and Diamond Skin continue their theme of removing Mayet.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of Tracer games in HGC Europe on the side of Diamond Skin. They played her 5 times and lost 3 out of those 5 games. But now, with the map being a Battlefield of Eternity, a huge priority is, of course, on Hanzo, and Worst Positioning goes straight for a tool that allows them to race the Immortal quite heavily, whereas Diamond Skin falls back to that Garrosh that is just such a pivotal point for their strategies.
We do see the Malfurion, of course, once again taken away as well. It is still the most popular support in basically every region, so very sensible to do so here. And Malfurion, if he can land his route correctly, or at least Garrosh can land his throw correctly, they're still a terrifying combo together, especially for a squishy assassin like Hanzo.
Yep. We see a lot of Garrosh had with Stukov, but with Malfurion, of course, the same thing applies. You want that additional lockdown after the throw, and then you can just take the target apart if you have the burst damage in particular, and that's something we could still see here. Worst Positioning now, they have to make a couple of choices. We talked about their Medivh play. Diablo is also still around. They could, in theory, go for a combo here if they really wanted to. We have seen that before. So this is going to tell us a lot about the idea that they have going into game number 2.
Let's see. Worst Positioning, 2nd and 3rd picks. Medivh, it comes
Diablo,
out, and
go.
Diablo. We are getting right into Worst Positioning favorite picks here.
Exactly. So, as expected, we talked about this a bit earlier. Medivh as a tool for Worst Positioning, and the combo, of course, is very powerful. So, one of the tools they had was definitely going into the 2 of them right now. There were a couple of other avenues they could have explored, but this is already them showing one of those heavy hitter setups. And let's not forget, they already have Hanzo, and we've seen a lot of Hanzo arrow into an Apocalypse as well. So there's a lot of combo potential that we see now, not only around the potential Leyline Seal.
Yeah, and if they don't even have to go for Leyline Seal. We have been seeing a little bit of Polybomb sneaking in ever since Medivh's changes. So that is very cool to see as well, that single target lockdown, depending on what kind of damage Diamond Skin might want to bring out.
Yeah, exactly. So with the damage potential for Worst Positioning, I'm actually really interested to see if we're going to see a bit more burst on their end. They still need a top laner, so that's one of the things to be considered here. So very likely Hanzo is going to be the only range damage for them. But how is Diamond Skin going to run this? We saw Sonya in the last game, so now it's all about that top lane. And I feel Blaze would be a really good pick for Diamond Skin. With Garrosh, Blaze, and then Malfurion, you have so many layered defenses that you can sustain yourself through a lot of the tools that Worst Positioning has. Thrall banned out right away to also give them a bit more at the top lane. Also eliminates Earthquake, which can be a problem if you're going up against Apocalypse and all those stuns as well. But what is Worst Positioning doing? Are they going to ban out Blaze, or do they go for maybe a ban towards the damage instead?
A little bit, they get the damage. I was going to suggest perhaps Sonya could have been the other option there, get the solo laner and the damage out, but I still prefer Blaze over Sonya as the choice for Diamond Skin. So I don't mind the Genji ban at all. It definitely would have been a big problem for Hanzo if Medivh wasn't in position.
Now, there's a couple of good arguments for getting Sonya over Blaze, since especially with Immortal pressure, she is better if you can keep her on the Immortal. Blaze, on the other hand, has a bit of a more long-range poke that you can use if there is a bit of a stalemate in the middle. So you can always use the oil spill and then ignite it and get some extra damage in. We've seen that in yesterday's series as well. And you have the layer defenses. You have a lot of wave clear available to you at the top lane. So that's something that Diamond Skin could do for sure here. And actually, it's what I would really like them to do as well. They have played 13 games with Blaze in the past, but they only won 3 of those. So it's not really the most successful hero for them. But considering what they are up against, I think having a layer defense would be great.
I'll be down with it. Let's see what they go for. So Blaze and perhaps one of their damage dealers could be picked up straight away here. perhaps Tychus. Worst positioning, we're a bit worried about it last time. They do go Sonya over Blaze, preferring a little bit of damage. And Li Ming as their damage. Better for the Immortal than Tychus, so very reasonable.
All right, still heading for Sonya here. Makes it a bit more risky, but at the same time now they have also a bit more burst potential themselves they can use. On the CC side, they have Garrosh, they have Malfurion. With Blaze, you would have had the jet propulsion as well as a potential tool here. Which leaves Blaze open for worse positioning. I mean, normally when you look at their combo with already Medivh in there, you feel, okay, they should have enough defense. Maybe we need something that can bring more damage to the equation. So that's one of the things they could look towards. But no matter what, and that's what they do. They go for Malthael over a potential Blaze setup, and I think that's a pretty good choice with what they have. But they chose Rhaegar again over a Stukov pick.
Yeah, the Stukov being available, and also the fact that Medivh and Rhaegar share similar roles, aka burst protection, where Stukov can be healing over time. But you are up against a lot of bursts, so I don't hate that as a pick due to the Ancestral, due to the Cleanse being available when you're against the Sonya Garrosh. I'm digging it, and of course Malthael, pretty good laning setup into Sonya.
I mean, with Medivh, you are definitely in a position where you can play Stukov. As you said, burst protection is there, and personally I think that the Silence is an absolutely fantastic tool on this map and just in general, especially if you already have tools that lock a target down. So that would have been great for them. But they decide to play with Rhaegar instead. That gives them a bit of burst heal. That gives them also the healing totem for sustain in fights where there is a standoff. But the poke potential is currently pretty decent here for Diamond Skin with Li Ming. Hanzo, of course, has the scatter arrow. That makes him fantastic if he can get towards the Immortal. But Diamond Skin, what do they do to round that draft? They go for Phoenix. So now we have even more on a potential Planet Cracker setup here even.
Yeah, there's a lot of lockdown. I would not hate that at all. If they can get someone here, then Planet Cracker could be crazy. If not, there's a reasonable amount of crowd control to potentially set up for a Purification Salvo. If they can keep Phoenix well protected, though. Diablo will be the issue for a hero like Phoenix.
Phoenix was played once by Diamond Skin, and they were actually successful with that. That was, interestingly enough, also the series they played against Leftovers, and in that game we had Robodoba on Phoenix. So it was
mentioned in the interview.
Not really going to see that today, at least we wouldn't think so, but it doesn't tell us really a lot about the Phoenix play of Diamond Skin so far. So it's going to be interesting for sure how exactly they're going to play this out. Phoenix is not going to take the solo lane. It's very unlikely, at least, since they have Sonya in the mix. But there's definitely a Purification Salvo. We could see Planet Cracker depending on how they are trying to run this now.
Yeah, two very strong potentials, and both of them will work pretty well. I would say they have a lot of lockdown for the Planet Cracker, and if not, Purification Salvo will be consistent damage throughout the fight.
Yep, so we are going to head into our second game. Currently, we have Diamond Skin in the lead, trying to defend their slot in HGC. Worst positioning, they have now a shot to tie the series as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. Our second map choice once again of Diamond Skin. So worst positioning is going to try and take their first win of the best of 7 series.
So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, it is Diamond Skin, with Sonya played by Darkbok, Malfurion played by Wolfjo, Li Ming played by Nanda, Garrosh played by Robodoba, and Phoenix, question is answered, played by Rosbek.
And over to the right side of the map, we have worst positioning down in this best of 7 with Earth, again on Diablo. Once more Nunya on Rhaegar, Zico on Malthael, Dreamy this time on Medivh, and Sonic Le Beast on Hanzo.
On a pale horse by Malthael, wants to be able to rotate to his team as quick as possible. Very sensible here. And Sonya actually going for her own version of block at level 1, even against Malthael, the tough as nails.
Yeah, that's what we have seen in the last game as well from Darkmok. So he did exactly the same thing on Volskaya. So we have him up at the top lane now, of course. Phoenix is, by the way, hiding there now too. And already trying to set up a bit of a potential gank. Rosmek is trying to push Zico back here. But also, we have at the same time Medivh hovering in the area and trying to scout out if there is maybe a trap set up, because obviously worst positioning by now communicated that there is still no Phoenix on the map.
The commitment, Rosberg, I'm pretty sure he was still scouted, but there's the portal. Dreamy, portal mastery, doesn't even care, just gets his ally out with the greatest of ease.
Yeah, really well done here, and that was more so just like pure game knowledge, knowing there's one hero missing, there's a good chance that you're going to try and put pressure onto the solo lane to make it a bit easier for your own solo laner. That's exactly what happened here. But this is now a pretty difficult lane to hold if we are continuing with this 2-3 split forward positioning, because Rosmec can always rely on the shield mechanic with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Darkmok has a self-sustain now too, and that's going to make it very difficult to just clear these waves out.
It's exactly what we end up seeing here. The lane is being pushed up, but Malthael's cleaning it reasonably well. The good part is Medivh's actually just been stacking very safely.
And now we have an attack here once again as the camp is about to be taken. Really nice approach. Good damage against Earth, and it's enough to take him down. The splash alone confirming the kill. Diablo is dead, and that of course opens up the possibility for Diamond Skin to take the camp at the bot lane. And if they rotate back up, they can also claim the top camp too.
Yeah, I love the phase bomb AoE kill, really making the most out of the 2 different attack modes of Phoenix to guarantee that kill. But like I said, right now they're not rotating up to the top lane, but it is an open opportunity for them. But they want to try and make as much value out of this original camp in the bot lane as possible. Finally, we're seeing Phoenix begin to rotate up to top. Medivh begins to make his, just hover around, keeps the scout. He will realize Phoenix is gone very quickly. Yeah,
but this is exactly the scenario that I talked about a second ago. Trying to go for both of the camps. That's why Phoenix makes the rotation. Ziku alone just doesn't have a chance to go up against this, and he knows it too. So both of the camps are claimed by Diamond Skin. That gives them also a slight lead in experience and of course a bit of added lane pressure that they're now trying to use. But with that being said, we have the first Immortal now spawning on the map, and there's always the Hanzo factor to consider when you talk about Battlefield of Eternity.
Yeah, he's doing okay in terms of his stacks, already up to 10, so he's not at full capability yet, but he will be very soon if he keeps going at that pace.
Yeah, also with talents on Phoenix, by now in Europe, the most established build is mobile offense going into target acquired. Now we have sometimes also the shield depletion on level 4 chosen, so that once the shield is gone, you get some movement speed. But here it's all about the basic attacks against slowed heroes in particular. So right now, we're gonna see if Diamond Skin can win the first Immortal. They have a slight lead over worst positioning experience, but nothing really to write home about yet.
We'll have to keep an eye on it. Rosmec cleaning out the Fallen Shaman here. Diablo has been left with a similar job in the bottom lane. Dreamy, in fact, comes down here. Very convenient positioning here for worst positioning, where they're able to clean up and also bring in the harassment. Good spear onto the Rhaegar. Portal is perfect, just in time to dodge the Immortal stuff.
Yeah, that was a close call. If that would have hit, then I think Rhaegar would have died there for sure.
Yeah.
But as is, he's able to survive, but you can tell that from Immortal pressure alone, worst positioning is now starting to take a slight lead over the objective. Phoenix has finally taken his own position here up at the top, and Rosmec is working those auto attacks in, but that of course forces Ziku to respond here immediately. Nice dodge here by Rosmec, as the rest of the team is still defending down at the bottom of the map.
Darkmok 2 games in a row now has been bullying worst positioning with this Sonya, dropping so much damage with these spears. Big stun on Diablo, and a lovely groundbreaker as well. Big stacks for Robodova, but not enough to set up for a kill.
Yeah, Phoenix is coming in, and Diamond Skin is driving a wedge between worst positioning, forcing Medivh once again to portal the team out. And that's now a really awkward spot for worst positioning to be in. They're all rather low and had to move back to just top off their hit point and mana pools. And that is an immediate aggression towards the Immortal itself. So now we're seeing Diamond Skin taking a significant lead here and winning the halftime show.
Portal straight into the Malfurion route, but like you said, the halftime show is already acquired here. So great control by Diamond Skin for the moment, but not by too much. Look at the health on the Immortal of Diamond Skin. They haven't defended too well.
Yeah, Diamond Skin isn't really comfortable going for a full race. They leave Phoenix and Sonya over at the left side, but the rest of the team is still trying to defend. They know that Sonic on Hanzo can just do so much here. Once again, a close race. It's a super close one, but Diamond Skin wins it. And that's just simply because of Malthael and Hanzo. Great heroes to burst down the Immortals, so great choice also from Diamond Skin to leave 2 for the attack and then defend with 3.
Yeah, the great harassment, really zoning out worst positioning, allows them to get it with 125 shield. Not much at all. This will not survive long as we see worst positioning. Moving into this defensive position, shield is gone.
Now, I mean, at this point, of course, you're talking about Calamity on level 7 for Li Ming. This is definitely going to be the crucial talent to take here, and this could really open up these snowball potentials after an initial kill from Diamond Skin, and that's what they're going to be looking for. So the damage potential of Diamond Skin, at least in team fights, has now, so to say, exploded. They've also taken a solid lead in experience, especially also through Sonya at the bot lane. It's one of the reasons why Diamond Skin moved back at the top, since they found themselves in a 4 versus 5 for a long time, so they didn't want to risk anything here. And Darkmog is now focusing on the camp as well, but it's already spotted by Medivh as he comes in and Malthael is close by.
Portals could be dropped here. There is a Raven Familiar and an Arcane Explosion, but Medivh doing what he does best. Scout eats the spear, though, very quickly.
Yeah, gets it immediately. Portal is helping Dreamy to move out, though. But a pretty solid opening for Diamondskin again. Now, Worst Positioning hasn't really come into this as aggressive as I expected them to be. For now, they are still testing the water, so to say. But we have only seen a single kill in this game. So Diamondskin is doing well, but we haven't really seen too much of the team fight potential that Worst Positioning has. And when we're talking about the team composition, it's of course a lot about their level 10 abilities and the synergy that they have with those.
Yeah, as long as they don't get too far behind before level 10, they might have a good chance to turn this round. Level 9 is hit by Diamondskin, 8.5 for Worst Positioning. So they will get it reasonably quickly after their opponents, maybe even in time for the next objective, assuming they continue to soak well.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see how the level 10 works out for Worst Positioning, because if they really have all of their abilities completely synced up, the Wombo potentially in a lot of these engagements is going to be crucial, especially if you can get to, let's say, Malfurion, Li Ming, or Phoenix. A lot of low HP heroes that you can definitely lock down with the CC chain and then try and get the kill. Malthael is also going to be super interesting here. If he also goes into Last Rites, we could see a lot of those kills confirmed then later on. Helps you against Garrosh, of course, as well. But camps are now taken, next Immortal is spawning, and Diamondskin is going to be the team that has a significant lead in the race towards the heroics, so they should be able to translate that into maybe even a win on the halftime.
That's going to be the race here, though. Here are those level 10s. We are seeing that's a big kill. If they get it, they get it in the end. There goes Malthael. Portal's not enough this time. But with level 10s and now a hero down, they are going to be in such good position to begin this race. Even with the Tranquility, though, which is a kind of interesting choice considering Touch of Death was available for Malthael, but he's dead, so not so bad at this moment in time.
Yeah, we also have no Planet Cracker. We have instead the Purification Salvo taken. But here comes the race to the halftime that I mentioned earlier. Without level 10, you can't make any plays here, and they should be careful. Worst positioning, that is. They need to get their level 10 and then play around that. Malthael is going to get it up at the top. But Diamondskin is actually in a position where they can easily just race this. I would be very surprised if Worst Positioning is going to be in position fast enough to claim that Punisher, or at least contest it. This is going to be another objective for Diamondskin.
Yeah, that's going. Hanzo is not even fully stacked on his simple geometry yet, so he doesn't even have full damage output. So the Immortal easily claimed by Diamondskin.
Really well done. And a lot of this comes just from the early game kills, from the 2 camps that have been taken, the first objective that has been conquered. It was a small lead. It was only a few seconds that Worst Positioning was away from level 10. But it was enough for Diamondskin to get the second Immortal. And now they can really use that to set something up here. I mean, look at Darkmog alone. He's already sitting here at the bottom, trying to go for a bit of a flank.
The Immortal coming in, like you said, the flank is set up, and it looks like Darkmog's being very cautious about this. Doesn't want to get himself caught out by Earth if Hanzo spots with the Sonic Arrow. Very good job by Sonic the Beast there. As we see Malthael getting stunned up, Leyline from behind, but Dreamy eats the spear. Apoc doesn't land. Great moves here. The Purification Salvo comes in for the turnaround, looking for Zico here. He's the target. Ancestral land pretty nicely, though. And the Last Rites, though, no one's low enough to be able to use it, so Zico really struggling in this fight. They're trying to turn onto Darkmog, but Darkmog is cleaning up Worst Positioning.
Medivh is down and lost his stacks, and Diablo is a goner as well. And that's not only the fort gone, that's all of a sudden Diamondskin moving through the wall at the bot lane. The double kill alone empowering this push even more. The wall is gone, and Diamondskin with a level 13 talents, they're trying to go for the keep immediately.
They're burning it down. It gets taken out with the greatest of ease, even dropping a huge amount of damage onto Sonic the Beast here with that Li Ming. Very nicely done here, and like you said, disastrous moves here. Diablo, he does keep his souls. He was on 89 when he died, so he didn't lose those, but Medivh did. A huge amount of Arcane Rift stacks lost.
One of the big problems here is that they did not sync their abilities up properly, and they showed a lot of patience in the earlier stages of the game. But now in that fight, it felt that they felt forced to make something happen. And then we have the engagement, and as you said before, Diablo, when he used the Apocalypse, didn't hit anyone. Everybody moved out of the way. There was no synergy with the Hanzo Arrow or Leyline that they could utilize. And then Diamondskin, they have the experience to, in that moment, say, okay, if we get these kills, it's not only the fort that we're aiming for, we go for keep. And now Worst Positioning is in an awful spot here.
Yeah, 10-minute keep is already impressive, but Diamond Skin, they also now have a 2-level lead as level 12 is about to be hit by worse positioning. Here we see the attempted counter. Dragon Arrow is good, but into the fray gives them nothing. As we see Diamond Skin dropping the Purification Salvo, a bit unnecessarily, but they saved Phoenix, so it's all worth.
Yeah, Roba-Doba again just saving the target here. Extremely well done by him. It's one of the reasons why he's just such an amazing player on Garrosh. It's not only the kills that he opens up for his game and the opportunities, it's also a lot of the saves that he is able to pull through. And I would honestly be surprised if worse positioning does in future games not start to either ban Garrosh out or take him away. Since that's the lesson that a lot of the HGC teams have learned early when they went up against Diamond Skin, that hero alone in the hands of Roba-Doba makes Diamond Skin so much more powerful that you simply have to respect it.
We might even see that evolve in this series, let alone into the next phase if Diamonds can keep their spot, which right now is looking pretty good for him because they are once again in control of the second game.
Yeah, and now we are looking, of course, again at the Immortal. Level 13 talent advantage. Bit of defensive posture here from Diamond Skin. They're going for... the heal is there. Malthael is getting healed. Roba-Doba on the run, and here comes the APOC, and this one is a great one.
Last Rites picks up the kill. Earth pulling back to make sure he doesn't get himself caught while his team begins to burn down the Immortal. Portal is down. Earth gets stunned out of it, but is able to make his way through with a bit of Raven Familiar just in case he wants to go back in for an engagement. But he's already taken a lot of damage. Here comes the Purification Salvo. Once again, Dreamy getting zoned out by the boss stun. Drops the ley line, but gets taken out, losing his stacks.
Dreamy goes down, a 4 versus 4, and again Medivh loses his stacks. As you said, great job in that last engagement also by Nunya and Rega, keeping Malthael alive. That was so important here, and picking up the last Rites kill was of course absolutely crucial. But now they find themselves in a 4 versus 4, and Garrosh just respawned. They had to move back as well since catapults are homing in on the core. So even though this started off with a fantastic kill for worse positioning, they are still miles away from winning an objective.
It's a half-shield Immortal. They were able to get a big burn down on their opponent's Immortal thanks to that kill from Diablo at the start of the fight. But overall, this is looking good for Diamond Skin. They grab yet another Immortal. This is going to be going into the top lane, where the keep is going to be under serious duress.
Things are not looking good for worse positioning. Not at all. They are going to lose out on the talent again, as Diamond Skin is very close to level 16. They hold now a more than 2-level lead, and worse positioning is aggressively moving in. They need a kill, and they know it. They need to fight before 16 is there, and they're trying to do that. Here comes the taunt. They go again for Zico. Malthael is under pressure. Darkmog is trying to follow it up. They're chasing the Immortal already on the move now too. And here comes the warp in as Rosmic is looking to close the distance and get some additional damage in.
Portal is good. That gets everyone out. Zico making the most of his on a pale horse as well to move to the back with 16 available for Diamond Skin compared to 13 for worse positioning. The talent advantage might just guarantee this keep.
That was really well done by worse positioning, looking for the fight. But Diamond Skin, they knew, of course, what was going on there, and they didn't give them the battle. At this point now, the Immortal is already on the keep, and we are seeing Diamond Skin moving in. They want the keep, and they're going to get it. The question is, can they find a kill and go for core?
Earth is looking for anyone out of position, but he gets hit by the Groundbreaker. He's thrown in. Force of Will is good. The Dragon Arrow only hits Mafurion on the backline. The APOC doesn't land that well. Earth gets Ancestral though.
Great ult once again by Phoenix, and that could be the end of Malthael and Diablo. Malthael dies. Here comes the ley line extremely late in the fight. Diablo is dead too, and those are the kills that Diamond Skin were looking for. They're going in, the Immortal about to fall, but the core is already down to 50%.
The Immortal goes down, but everyone on Diamond Skin is healthy. Big stun by Garrosh as the core goes down. That GG, and Diamond Skin go up 2-0 in this best of 7.
Diamond Skin looking impressive today, and I gotta be honest, I'm very disappointed with the lack of coordination that we saw from worse positioning. Yeah. We talked a lot about the combo that they had. They can play a lot of what they have around a ley line seal on Dreamy's side, follow it up with Diablo and an Apocalypse. They have even the Hanzo Arrow to initiate or follow up on it as well. And then, of course, the damage potential through Sonic and also Malthael.